things. But this one regarding safety, I saw on Ted's notebook, and a few people, because I follow a lot of Lewis fans, they're quoting this. The FIA are trying to reinforce a rule that was already there, where you have to wear like this. They're getting rid of like cotton underpants or something that the drivers wear. I think it's because it's meant to be a fire hazard, and they're also getting rid of. They're telling the drivers they can't wear like their little like metal chains. Like some of them will wear crosses. I know Lewis is one of them. I think there's a few others as well. They'll wear like a cross necklace or something because they're Christian. You're not supposed to wear them anymore, and earrings as well. Like any nose piercings, ear piercings, or whatever they're going to tell them, like you can't do that. So Lewis was asked about
no
this.
jewelry, basically.
Yeah, and Lewis was asked about this, and the quote was something like it's welded into his ear. So like the way you take it off is, he said you'd fully have to cut his ear off. So he said it's staying. And apparently they mentioned this on Thursday, and they just haven't done anything since. So they've gone, oh, okay, we're reinforcing this rule. Like, make sure we're going to be checking. I'm still seeing Lewis with his piercings in. Like, they haven't done anything. So it's just embarrassing.
Yeah,
I think they've just
I heard about Lewis and Verstappen joking about this. Did you see that?
No, I haven't. I'll have to look at that. What was it?
Continue. I'll just get the quotes up, just because you're gonna.
So like, I don't know. I feel like the problem with that is like, I don't know. If you tell your if you tell your kid, yeah, like no more sweets, like this is your last biscuit, you're having this one, that's it. And then I don't know, she asked for another one, and then you say, all right, fine, whatever, and then give her another one. You've just lost your authority. Like that's what they've done. They've gone and said like, listen, we're reinforcing this rule. Make sure. And Lewis is just going, well, I don't care. And then I don't know about the other drivers. And nothing's happened. Like you can't say you're going to reinforce the rule and then go out and back off afterwards. It's just a little bit.
It's just
like,
proving that as a joke.
To be honest. I mean, it gets worse. So they did a similar thing with the safety car restarts. As we've seen recently, Max will go up alongside the car in front of him to intimidate them or whatever. This rule was always in place, preventing this. The rule is, it states that the lead car becomes effectively the safety car. And are you allowed to go up alongside the safety car? No. None of the drivers have ever, in my life, have I seen a driver going alongside the safety car and telling it to hurry up. They tell them to hurry up on the radio, not like going alongside it. But for some reason,
they stop right before it. They stop right before it, but they don't go like side.
But you don't go along. Exactly. So it's dangerous in a lot of ways. It also ruins their opportunity to warm up their tires. It also means that they can't dictate the pace anymore, because what if they want to get Max away from their side? They'll speed up. But if they speed up too much, the safety car won't have enough time to get into the pit lane, because the whole reason they slow down is so that the safety car can go into the pit lane and get out of the way. So if Max is doing that, they can't, dictate the pace anymore. They slow down a bit too much. You might overtake them, whatever. It just causes a lot of problems. I saw a tweet. It was interesting. Lewis was dealing with that all year. Max just kind of harassing him on safety car restarts. Max does it to a Ferrari once, and they've switched the rules. They've changed it instantly. I'm not saying that's the reason they've done it, but with these new, like, I don't know. There's just a lot of rules in the regulations.
I think this face is all you need to say.
There's a lot of rules in the regulations that they just don't implement. Like the overtaking one, when Max overtook Lewis under the safety car in Abu Dhabi. Obviously, it was only momentarily, but technically he overtook him, and technically that's against the regulation. I'm not saying that should have been what lost him the championship, but no fines, no nothing.
10-second penalty. That's what you want.
It wasn't even investigated. Like that's the kind of thing you'd hand out maybe a fine for or something, but they have loads of rules in there that they're just very lenient with. Same with Max touching the rear wing. He got a 50k fine for that, but like people were posting very understandably, Vettel's been doing that for years and he never gets anything. So there's just certain rules they just don't bother to check, which, I don't know, maybe the rules do need a bit of a look through just to make sure that they actually say, like, listen, these are the rules and we're following them.
You know the rules.
Hidden ones. Yeah.
I think the book is too big for even the stewards to know everything. Like they won't have a look at this stuff because the teams didn't complain about it. I think if the teams complain about it, they will look at it. But if the teams don't complain, I'm not gonna go investigate like such small stuff. So basically Max and Lewis had the press conference together this week. and they were talking about the whole jewelry thing, and Max was like, I would be too heavy if I wore jewelry, so it's not possible, you know. And Lewis answered, he's like, I know you have a nipple piercing, man, come on. And Max was like, you want to see it again?
Oh wait, I think I did see this. Yeah,
That was
love that.
very funny. Like, it's, yeah, that was good. Do you see Bottas lost his 103 consecutive run in Q3 has ended,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
That
And
was
actually,
depressing.
about Bottas as well. But this is another thing with the stewards. Bottas got forced off the track by Stroll, and they noted it and then didn't give him a penalty. That's so like he fully forced him off the track. Bottas, not even like, oh, he's got his front wing alongside. He was fully alongside, like you couldn't tell who was ahead side by side, and he gets forced off the track and Stroll got nothing. Stroll got a penalty like literally maybe the lap before for weaving on the straight. Not kind of like how Max does it. It was a lot more dangerous than that. He moved twice under braking sort of thing. He did like the old
So
Verstappen
early
move,
Max,
you know, when you
essentially.
wait. Yeah. So
Yes.
early Max, pretty much. So he got a penalty for that, but then didn't get a penalty for forcing him off the track, which is so inconsistent. He should have got a penalty for both. Like, I don't know why they did that. The stewards just, I don't know, they were doing well, and everyone was, you know, hyping them up and all of this, but I don't know. I've kind of lost confidence again, more than I already
I
had.
have a picture that I kind of have to show you at this point. Oh wait,
Bro, can you share
see?
your screen or something? What is this?
It's on my phone, so you can't actually see it.
Proceed.
Hey.
Oh, I
It's
see
just
that.
a massive Lance head and a massive Latifi. Can we just talk? I think we need to take a moment to kind of talk about Albon and going from P20 to P10 in the race.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that now. Yeah, that.
I think you have to say, you know, Williams is mightily impressive because there weren't like a lot, like it's not like half the grid retired and he got points. No, like I think only 2 cars retired, Sainz and Verstappen.
I think it was 3. There was a third one.
3. Okay, even with 3 cars out, he still went from P20 to P10, which
They're
is
stopping on the
very
last lap,
impressive.
which is so cool. Like that's so funny. That's the kind of stuff I do in the F1 game. Like he just fully waited until the very last lap, and then he either came out just ahead of Joe or behind him and then overtook him. But like he was running in P7 on tires that had lasted him the entire race. Like yeah, he's done very well there from last. You're right. Like
Yeah.
it's a very
I
impressive
think
track.
people were debating, should he have a C in F1? Does he deserve to be back in F1? All of that stuff. I think like if he like obviously the first 2 races he can't really say much because there wasn't much to say because he's in Williams at the back of the grid and all of that. But I think if he has these races, these types of races, like a few times throughout the season, then people will kind of be saying like, okay, no, he deserves a C over Latifi. Like obviously he deserves a C over Latifi. Like Latifi's gonna go next year. Sad, like
Yeah.
the king is going, but still. But if he does this, then I think he's showing to people that he is a talented driver. He does deserve to be back in F1, and I'm very happy for him. Like it'll be funny to see Tomo's reaction because he's like a massive Albon fan, and he was so sad when Albon left. Can we talk about how Russell is P2 in the championship?
We'll mention that, but also just quickly about Albon. I think it would be like I just can't wait to see if he actually pushes his way back up the grid. Like, because now he's fully at Williams, he's at the bottom. And sure, he can lead Williams, but no one aspires to be the first driver in the last place team. You want to work your way up.
Yes.
So I wonder which teams will start giving him opportunities first if he actually ends up making his way up the grid. Because I'm sure he could end up having a few options.
I think like probably like AlphaTauri is a big shot. Because he's still like he's supposed to cut his ties with Red Bull because he's going to a team that's basically like mini Mercedes, but you know his helmet says like a lot.
Yeah, he does still have. I think Red Bull really helped him get that seat, so he's still he has a good relationship with Red Bull, I think.
Yeah, so I think like AlphaTauri, like if he proves himself, I think a year or 2 here. I don't think next year is gonna be like next year they have like Red Bull have quite a few drivers lined up from F2, and with kind of I think Gasly will probably be going. Tsunoda kind of having matured a bit. I think then you can see probably Liam Lawson, Drew Ruvula. You've got like a few very talented drivers that can kind of step in. it depends on if Tsunoda steps up this year or not. Because if he doesn't step up this year, they're gonna have to stick with Gasly, but Gasly might want to leave. But I think Gasly's the sense. Gasly stayed because.
Yeah, but I think Marco's confirmed now that Gasly's going at the end of the year, whatever happens, something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Unless he
gets
moved to Red Bull, I think it was, right? Like, if he gets the opportunity to move to Red Bull, he'll move to Red Bull. But if Perez is doing a good job, which he is, they're not going to drop Perez. And they're not going to drop Max.
So,
going to go.
Yeah, obviously Max isn't going anywhere. I think that the fact that he said it is just why he's saying that. But so he said that they're essentially looking between Perez and Gasly for next year. But I think that if they don't go with Perez, if Perez doesn't leave, I think probably Red Bull could go back on that if Tsunoda proves to be basically like last year, i.e. unreliable. Because I don't see them going with two very unexperienced drivers.
They could do it as a sister team, so like they could just shove two like juniors in there and see what happens.
But I think like Franz Tost would just be like, no, I want like at least give me one good driver and one like.
Yeah, true.
But if Gasly leaves, it could be a chance for they could say, okay, Gasly, bye-bye, and they can bring in Albon into AlphaTauri and a younger driver. Because Albon has proved he has shown he can drive well when he's in an AlphaTauri. It's just the atmosphere at Red Bull that did not suit him. And it did not suit a lot of other drivers that stepped into that seat. So it could be just the atmosphere there.
Maybe. Shall we start with the top and then go down? For like the top three, so like Ferrari, then Red Bull.
I just want to mention one fun fact is Leclerc has more points. Basically, Leclerc can lead the championship, like the drivers' constructors' championship now. Right?
Oh yeah.
So he has more points than Mercedes and Red Bull and basically every other team. I just find that like
it's very impressive. It's hilarious. Yeah, he's pretty. So yeah, let's go on with Leclerc actually. Also, leave in the comments as well if you're somehow still listening at this point. If we should bring back Yusuf's completely unrelated fun fact of the weekend at the start of the podcast. Like, not even like that was a fun fact related to the race, like completely unrelated from out of nowhere. So if you want to,
it's basically I used to mention a fun fact based on what I've kind of seen during the week, essentially, or during the day before.
All right, yeah. So